हेलो एवरीवन आई होप आप सभी लोग अच्छे होंगे एंड इन दिस लेक्चर आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ वाटर पोल्यूटेंट ऑन द environment. So there are few impacts on the water bodies such as depletion of dissolved oxygen, eutrophication, pathogen spread, biomagnification, genetic deformities, blue baby syndrome, Minamata disease and Itai disease. We are going to study each one of them in detail. Starting with the depletion of oxygen. हम सब जानते हैं कि there is some dissolved oxygen present into the water. Water में कुछ dissolved oxygen present होती है and which is very crucial for the living organisms which are present in the water bodies. Aquatic organisms के लिए वो dissolved oxygen काफी important होती है, critical होती है, right? So whenever there is presence of high organic pollutants, why I am saying organic pollutants here? Because these organic pollutants, which are especially biodegradable, mainly we are talking here about the biodegradable ones. So the kind of pollutants which are biodegradable in nature, and if these pollutants are present in a water body, then the dissolved oxygen in the water body will decrease, right? There will be depletion of dissolved oxygen. और ऐसा क्यों होगा? Because for the degradation or natural degradation of this organic matter, the pathogens, especially the bacteria, these bacteria are aerobic and they use oxygen for the decomposition of the organic matter, and hence the biochemical oxygen demand of that water increases. And if the biochemical oxygen demand of that water is increasing, then the dissolved oxygen will decrease, right? So chemical oxygen demand and biological or biochemical oxygen demand will increase and dissolved oxygen will decrease, right? I hope ये relation आपको clear होगा. So biodegradable and organic waste leads to oxygen depletion. If dissolved oxygen levels less than 4 milligram per liter, then it is disastrous for a water body, right? Next impact is pathogen spread. As we know, pathogens are disease-causing agents. It can be a microbe such as bacteria, virus, right? And stagnant water and other untreated water, we can say polluted water, provides a habitat for the mosquito and other vectors and insects that causes a large number of diseases, especially in the tropical regions, right? Especially the diseases which are vector borne, and the vectors are insects. If the vectors are insects, then high temperature condition and stagnant water becomes the favorable condition for the breeding of these vectors, right? So this is how pathogen spread will increase, right? Another impact is biomagnification. Biomagnification जो aquatic इकोसिस्टम्स हैं उन पर एक इम्पैक्ट है, उनमें एक इम्पैक्ट है जो कुछ पॉल्यूटेंट्स होते हैं जो बायोमैग्निफिकेशन शो करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल देयर आर few heavy metals such as mercury which shows biomagnification in aquatic food chain. Similarly, DDT, it is a pesticide. It also shows biomagnification in food chain. Few more pesticides are there. They may be PCBs, polychlorinated benzenes, right? So, how we can define biomagnification? It is increase in the concentration of a pollutant at each successive trophic level, right? अगर हर सक्सेसिव ट्रॉफिक लेवल पे किसी पॉल्यूटेंट का कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ते जा रहा है, then we can call it as biomagnification, right? In this picture, you can clearly see that concentration of this pollutant in water is, for example, 1 ppm, right? And at trophic level 1 or at the level of producer, it becomes 1000. Then at further trophic level in zooplanktons, it becomes 10,000 ppm. At further trophic level, it is also increasing. Small fishes में ये concentration में और बढ़ गया, and large fishes में ये concentration और ज़्यादा increase हो गया. So you can clearly see that हर एक trophic level पे pollutant का जो concentration है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है, right? So this process is known as biomagnification. ठीक है? I told you कौन कौन से substances हैं जो आपके syllabus में जो biomagnification show करते हैं. Generally these are pollutants like mercury, DDT, right? And related to these pollutants which are showing biomagnification, there are some case studies in your syllabus. For example, you have already studied the case study of DDT, right? So presence of DDT at higher trophic levels in the food chain, especially in the vultures responsible for the declining population of these birds, right? Similarly, there's one more case study of mercury in your syllabus. So let's cover it first. So mercury causes Minamata disease if it is present into a water body. तो फूड चेन में इसका बायोमैग्निफिकेशन होता है और ये उससे एक बीमारी देखने को मिलती है जिसका नाम है मिनीमाटा डिजीज, राइट? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, this disease was detected in 1956 in the Minamata Bay, Japan. Mercury was used in industrial production of acetaldehyde. देयर वॉज अ बे इन जापान जिसका नाम था मिनीमाटा, और उस बे के आसपास एक इंडस्ट्री थी जिस इंडस्ट्री में एसिटाल्डिहाइड का प्रोडक्शन होता था और वहाँ पे मर्क्यूरी क्लोराइड को यूज़ किया जाता था, राइट? और जो इंडस्ट्रियल इफ्लुएंट्स थे वो पास में जो बे थी जिसका नाम मिनीमाटा था वहाँ पे रिलीज किए जा रहे थे. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस डिस्चार्ज द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ मर्करी was increased over a course of time in that bay, and because mercury shows biomagnification in the food chain. So from water, it reaches into the small fishes, then large fishes, and by a consumption of these fishes, it reached into the human body. So fishes and other creatures in the sea were soon contaminated, and eventually residents of the area who consumed these fishes suffered from the methyl mercury intoxication, right? So this disease is known as Minamata disease. You have to remember कब डिटेक्ट हुई और किस एरिया में हुई, right? Coming back, one more disease is associated with the pollutants which are present in the groundwater is blue baby syndrome. ब्लू बेबी सिंड्रोम होता है जब एक्सेस नाइट्रेट प्रेजेंट होता है वाटर में, राइट? So blue baby syndrome or methemoglobinemia is caused by decreased ability of blood to carry oxygen, resulting in the oxygen deficiency in different body parts. As we know, जो ह्यूमन बॉडी में हीमोग्लोबिन होता है, it binds with the oxygen, right? And there are some chemicals which are having more affinity to bind with the hemoglobin. For example, carbon monoxide we have already studied. It combines with the hemoglobin in blood and forms carboxyhemoglobin. Similarly, this nitrate also combines with the hemoglobin and makes methemohemoglobin, right? And body turns into the bluish color. That's why we call it as blue baby syndrome. And infants are more susceptible for this disease than the adults. This disease can be caused by the intake of water and vegetables which are having high nitrate concentration and exposure to the chemicals containing nitrate, or it can even be the hereditary in nature. As different parts of the body get deprived of oxygen, the clinical symptoms of this disease are oxygen starvation and the main beings cyano. This cyno term means blue, right? ग्रीक में इसको साइनो बोलते हैं ब्लूइश कलर को. And the lips or even the skin starts to take on blue coloration. Hence, the common name of this disease is blue baby syndrome, because infants are more susceptible and body turns into the bluish color, right? Next disease, which is caused by the presence of excess cadmium in water, it is itai. Itai or ouch ouch was documented case of mass cadmium poisoning in Toyama, Japan around the 1912. The cadmium poisoning caused the softening of bones and kidney failure. This disease is named for the severe pain, and it causes joints and spine pain. Actually, this cadmium is a divalent cation, and it replaces the calcium which is present in our bones and causes the softening of the bones. The cadmium was released into the rivers by mining companies, and this cadmium contaminated water which was being used to irrigate the rice fields. Right, so this is about the itai disease caused by the cadmium. How we can control water pollution? So here are a few steps which can be taken to control water pollution. For example, treatment of water before leaving in water bodies. जो भी सीवेज वाटर है या इंडस्ट्रियल इफ्लुएंट्स हैं उनको पहले ट्रीट किया जाए, उसके बाद किसी वाटर बॉडी में डिस्चार्ज किया जाए. रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ पोल्यूटेड वाटर बॉडीज. जो भी हाईली पोल्यूटेड वाटर बॉडीज हैं जैसे कि यमुना है, राइट, गंगा है, तो ऐसी वाटर बॉडीज का रिस्टोरेशन हो, रिजुवनेशन हो. So one of the rejuvenation or restoration plan for Ganga is Ganga Action Plan. We will study in detail in the last section of this unit. Next is river water monitoring. Time to time river water की monitoring की जाए कि pollutants का concentration कितना है, right? कितना पैथोजेंस का पैथोजेंस कौन से पैथोजेंस प्रेजेंट है वाटर में, पोल्यूटेंट्स का कंसंट्रेशन क्या है. सो इसके लिए टाइम टू टाइम रिवर वाटर मॉनिटरिंग की जाए, राइट. दीज आर द सम कंट्रोल मेजर्स फॉर water pollution. So this is all about today's lecture. In next lecture we are going to cover marine pollution, right? So thank you.